People want to feel seen from the start without having to add these extra qualifiers. And honestly, people deserve to feel seen from the start. You know, you really can't get on many stages like this nowadays and not talk about AI and all of its capabilities and everything it can do. But today I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk about what AI can't do and maybe what it shouldn't even try to do. AI is on a path to transform and surpass humans in nearly every way. But AI is also proving that it can be just as flawed as we humans are. Here's an example. I'm going to give you a prompt, and I want you to come up with a picture in your head, kind of old style. So first, imagine a taxi driver. And climbing into the back seat of that taxi, picture a flight attendant. Hold that image. Whose taxi driver was a man? And who imagined a female flight attendant? Now, what happens when we give Gen AI that same prompt? Well, research has shown that certain AI models have a tendency to amplify these very same stereotypes, generating male taxi drivers and female flight attendants nearly every time. It makes sense. AI is only as good as the data that we train it on. And in many cases, this data is content that we've created. Our magazines, advertisements, movies, TV shows. If we aren't careful, AI can easily inherit and amplify all of our diversity problems. I don't think we're doomed, though. I am a lifelong technologist, and I'm very optimistic. I deeply believe that AI can help us see and think about ourselves in a more positive way. I know that because it's happening at Pinterest. Every month, more than 500 million people in the world come to Pinterest to find their inspiration and shop those dreams into reality. Gen Z is currently our fastest growing and most engaged audience. And we believe part of that reason is because of the positive experience that they're feeling on Pinterest. Gen Z users often tell us that social media, a lot of it they feel like is for other people. They either have to look good for other people or they're watching something that other people feel like they should. But on Pinterest, they tell us it's for them. It's what they're passionate about. It's what they love. It's what they want to be inspired by. It's a more personal experience. We've used AI for years to create a more positive, more inclusive online experience. But we also learned quickly that AI has its limitations. Some problems are just too complex, too sensitive, too human for AI to handle on its own. So today, I want to share what we've learned over the years and ask for your help as we work to build a more inclusive internet. Before I do that, let's start with the problem that we saw. You know, we heard from people that they had to hack our tools sometimes to find the content that looked like them. When searching, they'd add some qualifiers, things like summer style ideas, plus size, or black women's hairstyles. Look, I can relate. When I'm actually searching for cat eye makeup tutorials, I need to see it applied on eyes that look like mine, and Asian eyes are different. So look, this happens all the time on the internet. Really, people in marginalized communities, they're always having to take a little bit extra because they're not the default, and they need to take those extra steps to see themselves. People want to feel seen from the start without having to add these extra qualifiers. And honestly, people deserve to feel seen from the start. So we set out on a multi-year journey of listening, learning, and building, a journey that we're still on right now. In 2018, we introduced skin tone ranges so people could quickly find makeup tones that would match their skin. And in 2021, we added a hair pattern tool so people could filter so that if they had straight hair, curly hair, protective. And the feedback was both heartfelt and overwhelming. But these tools didn't fully solve the problem. No matter what, speaking for myself, when you have to go and actually take that drop down, it's kind of a little reminder that you're not the norm. So we knew we could do more and without asking users to take that extra step. So we wanted to live the overall baseline experience by default, so the platform would be more diverse from the beginning. We began to increase skin tone representation across Pinterest, surfacing more people of more colors without any effort required by the users. It was a solid start, but we're still missing one of the most important elements of representation, and that's body type. Look, it's not controversial to say that our media has a bias for showing unattainable body types. Perfect, skinny people, they kind of dominate our movies, our TVs, our advertisements. And yes, there's been some improvement through the years, but honestly, larger bodies are still idealized, even when they're shown. Maybe people of a certain height or an hourglass figure. Body representation is even less represented for people with disabilities, shorter people who are larger, or people who are older. So we built on what we learned from our skin tone and our hair pattern tools. And I'm proud to say that we introduced body type technology this past fall. With computer vision, Pinterest can now consider shape, size, and form across more than 3.5 billion images. And we're now using these signals to deliver a more inclusive and more diverse experience right from the beginning. For example, search for date night looks, and you'll start seeing results that are filled with more body types and more skin tones. No extra work required. In addition, we're adding the ability to self-select on body types, so you can see those while you're searching for ideas on Pinterest, just like our skin tone and hair pattern tools. Body type ranges are now live in the US and Canada. And today, I'm very happy to announce that Body Type Ranges is coming to several additional countries, including right here in Germany, in the coming months. We're working on it right now. It'd be easy. We're always thinking of you as well. So it would be easy to say, look at what our AI can do now. But it's not that simple. In fact, really, machines are limited in what they can do, and they couldn't do this work alone. I want to take you under the hood about this technology and how we developed it. Because to fully talk about AI's capabilities, we also have to talk about its limitations. From a technical standpoint, AI can help us identify patterns and characteristics across billions of images. And this is incredibly powerful when you're doing something straightforward, like searching for maxi dresses. But when we're trying to do something like looking at body type and group body types, it's a little bit more sensitive. For example, what if the image only shows someone's face? What if it only shows their legs? Is the AI going to try to classify that person as thin or curvy? How exactly does AI define what a petite body type looks like, or a plus-size body? What's the difference between those categories, and really, how many categories should we even have? The best part for us is that we've learned a lot through our skin tone and our hair pattern tools, right? So we can actually build on that engineering expertise. In this case, we used a deep neural network that's built on a transformer encoder technology. And what that does is it allows us to classify images much more efficiently. So we were able to actually classify and pre-train with billions of Pinterest images existing, and that encodes the information across hundreds of different dimensions. And with that level of detail, our ML is able to take all of those aspects of those images, compare them with the body type categories, and actually see what is correlated. Again, we tackled all of these technical challenges, but we recognized that there's still a human layer that was missing. Describing bodies, look, that's a really sensitive topic. And we had a responsibility to get this right. Think about all the different ways that we describe our bodies, and frankly, all of the different emotions and feelings that goes around with that. Some people embrace being called stocky, but others really don't. Our research team asked people to categorize all of these words on their own perception of what's appropriate, and we got a lot of mixed results. Look, I showed this slide to perfectly highlight the limits of our machines. This complexity, the real emotions and feelings that are associated with how we describe our bodies, That's why we don't train our AI on stacks and stacks of data alone at Pinterest. And it's why we didn't just let our AI sort group body types on its own. Instead, we worked with industry experts so that we could really account for all of those nuances that, frankly, the data just could not have in it. Human oversight is just as important as the signals when we're training our AI. Look, we started by talking to people of all body types, but especially those that were less represented and those that were the people in larger body types. We also partnered with expert organizations and advocacy groups to help us understand the nuances of body representation. And then we co-designed this body type technology together with them. Beyond the standard performance metrics, we asked our partners and users to evaluate the model's effectiveness. What was working? Where was it making mistakes? And then we would incorporate that feedback into the pipeline, and we'd iterate on it until the model got as accurate as possible. And through this process, we made a few key decisions. Going back to that challenge of using words to describe our bodies, we learned through feedback that using images was just a much more positive experience than being forced to choose between words like thin or curvy. You know, that tracked with what we hear from Pinterest. Often we hear from users that they're coming to Pinterest and they're not sure how to describe what they love, but they know it when they see it. So we took that education and we applied it here. And we actually just made it so that you don't have to use words at all. It's just by images. And that really resonated with people. We even had a photo shoot to create the diverse range of imagery that you see here. And we found that by putting everyone in similar types of clothing, it allowed people to really focus on the body types and not get as distracted by different types of clothing. Like, thanks to the help of our users and experts, we've already taken a massive step forward in building a more inclusive experience. But, you know, we're early in this journey, and it's part of the reason that people are actually coming to Pinterest. Our research has shown that our users want to see more diversity, and they actually want the control so that they can actually filter their results. In fact, we've already seen that people who use body type ranges had a 66% higher engagement rate per session than those who haven't used the tool. Look, this is what I love. We built what we felt like was the right thing to build, and then we heard from users that they enjoyed it, and then we saw from the metrics that it was also engaging them more. To me, that's a win-win. And more than the numbers, it's feedback like this that means the most.
Growing up, it was always about just hiding my bigger body.
I didn't want to explore fashion. All I wanted to do was cover my body and draw as little attention to myself as possible.
I think that's like one thing the society kept telling me as a child and growing up is if I didn't look like the girl on the mannequin that wore that dress, that I could never wear it. It was not meant for me, nor was it made for me.
Society has told me that I absolutely should not be wearing loud prints, loud patterns, anything that's going to draw a lot of attention to my body.
When I'd see my friends wearing tube tops, I'm like, they look so cute and dainty, but I could never, like, these shoulders are, these are strong shoulders.
I remember my high school prom, I wanted to get a backless dress, but I did still have back rolls then. I was like, oh, well, whenever they disappear, I'll wear it. That didn't happen. So I never wore the backless dress. I just typed in backless dress.
I just typed in colorful outfits.
Okay, the little rainbow button with the body types.
You can just pick your body type. Oh my God, is this new?
No, wait, stop.
Ew, it's so exciting.
Why am I emotional?
There's so many options, like actual women.
Like, there's not just one plus size person. There's different body types.
Like, the moment I put the body type, you see people that look like you.
Okay, I chose one and everything changed.
Being able to search by style and then filter by body is insane to me. Plus size bodies wearing crop tops, crazy, mind-blowing.
Yes, see, a baggy top with baggy jeans.
I love these blue shorts.
It's like, okay, we can try that.
When you see yourself, you just want to do more of it. You want to be part of that world more.
I really want to go through my closet like right now.
Really experimenting in this outfit allowed me to see myself in a different light. I've never tried a color like this before, and I'm really excited to see what I can come up with next.
The new feature definitely has like given me a challenge to want to be more open.
I can find bodies on the app that look like mine, so now it's easier to express myself because I see other women doing it.
And to see it on a bigger body, it really helps me realize I can rock this. And look at me, I'm rocking it.
I think young me would have really loved to have seen something like this.
I would have avoided a lot of the things that I did to myself to be smaller because I saw like other women that looked like me.
I probably would have loved myself, and I would have probably saw myself as the way that my friends saw me. I think I would have expressed myself more loudly, unapologetically.
And I know that sounds like that's so dramatic, but no, it really would be life-changing to see this kind of representation and the different aesthetics on different bodies, and you know, like, oh, I can do this, I can try this.
Right now, I can explore any fashion trend I want. Who's gonna tell me not to?
You know, that one kind of gets me every time. I kind of just love it when people say that they, as young women, would have been more unapologetic about how they approach life. So yes, I've seen it many times, but it kind of gets me every time. We're really proud of these early results. But you know, there's no set it and forget it with this type of system. We're continually improving and looking for feedback of what's working. And this work is far from done. And that's why I'm here today, to ask for all of your help. Look, building the diverse feed needs diverse imagery. And really, honestly, there's simply not enough of it. In building this technology, we learned quickly that there's a limit to how much fashion or beauty content that we have to surface that's representative of all body types. Because really, there's not nearly enough that's been created. We've begun to expand our work on body type ranges to men's fashion. And here's what we found. For all of those representation challenges that we're finding with women's fashion, it's actually even worse for men. Look, our industry has a lot of work to do, but this is a problem that AI can't fix. And maybe I should say it's a problem that AI shouldn't fix. Because I feel like the last thing we need is AI-generated images of marginalized people to offset all of the real skinny white people that are in all of our movies and advertisements. And that's where you all come in. This is something that only humans can solve, especially the ones in our marketing and media industries. That's people like all of you. Look, when people use our platform, we want them to see the ideas and the stories that speak to their own identity and lifestyles. That includes the advertising on the site too. And for images to messaging, your creative choices, they're gonna greatly impact how everyone perceives your brand. But they're also gonna influence how people perceive themselves. Collectively, we need to create more diverse imagery that feels truly inclusive and authentic to the world around us. We need more diversity in front of and behind the camera. And we need more campaigns and more content that feature real people in all their sizes, with all of their beautiful wrinkles, rolls, and sags. And finally, whether you work in marketing or not, I challenge all of us to hold a higher bar with what challenges we're trying and what problems we're trying to solve with AI. There's so much focus on all the parts of our lives that AI can make cheaper, faster, more productive. Technology is truly going to make our lives more efficient, but I believe technology should improve our emotional well-being. It should make us feel more positive. Those are the kinds of problems that we're trying to bring forward and that we're trying to solve at Pinterest. We're just getting started, and I hope that you'll join us in building for a better internet. AI is truly going to transform nearly every aspect of our lives. In that future world, what it looks like, whether it's more positive, more inclusive, more human, that is the question. And it's really up to all of us to determine that answer. Thank you so much for your time.